Rift. Um, so okay, how we described it. Basically, full visor, full vision type
Yeah.
view.
Yeah,
It's in
yeah.
stereoscopic. Uh,
It's 3D. Yeah, it is
yeah,
3D.
it's in 3D. Pretty crazy. I don't know. It seems like a cool idea. Only if they start developing things for it.
Right.
Yeah. That's the issue.
Otherwise, puzzles might be kind of cool depending on how you do them.
Yeah, I
Like
think the
Portal would be a fuckhole.
I think Portal would be very cool. I think that could
Portal
definitely be
would
adapted.
blow my shit
Well,
though.
see, the thing with Portal though is it would be great, but think if you got yourself stuck in an infinite loop in Portal with those things on,
Oh my God, I didn't even think of
how awful that would be.
vomit. Oh man.
Yeah, I would think you would probably vomit from that.
You
That's why I
probably
think
would
it'd be great.
legitimately.
Oh my God. I guess you're right. I guess that'd be really horrifying.
But it would be great. Like that's the thing. It would be awesome.
A
But
video
at the
game would
same,
fucking make you vomit.
Yeah,
it would be
Yeah.
incredible that it could do that.
that'd be
But I don't
horrifying.
know. Like the issue that people were saying that have played it is like Pat was mentioning. If you develop a game specifically for it, it's fine. But games that are normally used have the mouse and keyboard set up, they don't play as well with the Oculus Rift,
Yeah.
which is fine for people that are just casually playing a first-person shooter, but to actually have that competitive level, you'd probably want to stick with the mouse and keyboard for games that were programmed that way, at least.
Yeah, you know what I actually saw today though that was really awesome was actually a modified controlled version of Half-Life 2 that where the person was wearing the Oculus Rift and then they had I believe it was made for either the Wii or the 360 where it's like a gun.
Okay.
I think it's for the Wii. It's like this white and orange gun and the controls basically that were controlling like the normal axis or whatever was hooked up to the gun as well. So really, the only thing, and that specific one actually also had a thumbstick on it. I
Oh,
remember
okay.
seeing this gun. So really, this person is looking around and their head is moving around, like based on like how your head would really move around. And then also they have the gun, and they were like shooting enemies and things like that, which is actually really amazing. Like that's a whole new level of like like video gaming sort of immersion.
Yeah, I mean, at that point,
Yeah,
then it's going to, like, that crazy level of when you see, like, old 90s TV shows showing, like, oh, this is VR!
yeah.
And that's, like, full integration. That's pretty awesome at that point.
The only thing left at that point is movement. Like the only thing
Yeah.
that person wasn't actually like they're moving and then their body's moving in the game. Aside from like just basically like foot movement, like moving
Yeah.
around in circles and stuff. That's still controlled by a control stick. But this, aside from that, this was pretty much a straight virtual reality sort of like simulation. It's pretty unbelievable, pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's the closest thing that reminds me of is before this Oculus Rift was even announced, I saw a video probably about 2 years ago where this guy had a room set up specifically for playing video games, and they said the estimated cost was about like $60,000 that he spent because what he did was he set up something similar to the Kinect, and he had screens completely surrounding him, and then he had a thing that was very similar to what you were saying, Brian, that was a gun controller. So it was tracking his movement, but then he also had it set up so there were what's that? Why can't I think of that? Treadmills. He had treadmills set up throughout the whole entire room, so he could actually literally walk and run, and it would affect where he was in the game.
I was gonna make a joke that like, oh yeah, and then he had treadmills on the floor, right?
No,
Like,
that's
I was actually
exactly
gonna
what he
make
had.
that as a joke.
No, that's what this person had.
That's unbelievable.
It was
That's
insane.
Dirk.
Yeah.
Do you know what that's like? Is like the holodeck in Star Trek in
That's
Star Trek:
exactly
The Next
like,
Generation.
it's to that level of insanity.
There's been lot of talk of the Oculus Rift being like the holodeck from Star Trek: Next Generation, and that's oh god, that's really horrifying.
And then it would let us live out our dreams. Let the
Yeah.
machine live your fantasy.
See, that's one of those things where it's like that much closer to like this horrifying fantasy that I used to have when I was younger, where it's like my entire life was actually just some sort of simulated thing, and I was on a treadmill in a room. That's actually what it is.
Eh.
That reminds me of what I always used to think when I was younger, which I thought I was part of the Truman Show.
Right, yeah.
You
Well,
know that
that's, I
movie,
mean,
the Truman Show?
that's like a measured and studied thing in development is the what's it called? Solipsism. It's where like the idea of you're the mind in the tank,
Oh, okay.
mind in the system. A lot of children
I
tend to
think
have
that.
that
So
idea.
a lot of children think they're Jim Carrey.
A lot of
Yeah,
children think they're Jim Carrey.
Huh.
That's really what it comes down to.
That's
but
interesting.
they get over
They
it.
grow out of it though.
Yeah.
Some people
I
don't though.
think. Yeah, some people.
You know
Some
who
people
never grew
just.
out of that?
Jim
No.
Carrey.
Chris, Jim Carrey. Also Chris Kattan.
That's true.
Chris Kattan really, for the life of him, he really thinks that he is Jim Carrey.
Jim
And speaking of
Curry.
Chris Kattan, let's talk about. This is not on here, but I want to talk about Corky Romano.
Let's
Okay.
take a second here in our show. We're gonna set a little bit of time aside so we can talk about Corky Romano.
Just a quick second.
I'm tempted to bring JoJo back here.
Yeah, let's bring in. No, that's a good idea. Let's bring in Justin. Corky Romano. Justin, what is your favorite scene from the movie Corky Romano?
Justin, you there, Justin? Here he is.
Do you guys remember the scene where he was like, "Hey guys, would you like some cookies?"
Oh. Oh man.
Right, that scene,
Yep.
So what do you think of Corky Romano as a whole, Justin, as far as the movie goes? Do you think it's a well-placed...
movie.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
See, like it seemed like something was going to come out of that, but it wasn't much. It's an outburst there, and then...
It's a
Uh-oh.
shit movie. It's a shit movie. It's not good. Don't watch it. Ah!
All right.
All right. Now, this is a prediction I have about Justin. I think by the end of the show, he's going to be passed out.
Maybe. Flip a coin. I don't
Flip a coin. It is 50-50 there. I don't really know.
know. So we didn't really go over the rest of what we even did.
That's true. We didn't.
Justin sidebarred us.
Yeah, that's true. Let's talk about that. A little bit.
He what did they call that? Not a. Oh, damn it.
Truman showed us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he really pulled the Truman Show on us there.
I forget. They do it in like in the House and the Senate. It's filibuster.
Oh, he did. He did bring a filibuster in. Yeah.
It was a bit of
Yeah.
a filibuster. I'll give you that. It smelled like
So-
Vicks Vapor Rub for a second there.
So recently I obtained an upright bass
hmm
through the power of magic.
Is that how you got it from Magic?
You got it from playing. You won a Magic the Gathering tournament, and the prize was an upright
Was a
bass.
giant upright bass. No, we
Yeah.
found my friends found one, and they restored it, and it's mine.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty great.
How did they go about restoring it? Who
The
has
neck was
the-
snapped off, and we glued it back on and put it on a wood clamp for like a week.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's damn
Yeah, I was
good.
gonna say that's gonna lead to issues down the line, but for now it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, for a bass that you just found, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Especially when those things run you quite a bit of money.
Good snatch.
$500 to $1,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are not cheap instruments.
No, they're not.
You should get one of those cases that's got a wheel on the bottom of it. Sorry. I'm sorry. Well, that's really what they are, but I don't know why I thought that was so funny.
I hear the phone is going off.
That might mean my chicken chimichanga's here.
Well, you can't do that, Brian. We're in the middle of the show. Don't dare eat a chimichanga. So, Brian, what did you do? This is an interesting story that Pat and I were both privy to while it was happening.
Yeah, it's 8:62.
Hold on.
8:62.
Do you guys want to hear issues
I
going
was just
on?
gonna,
On with my chimichanga being delivered.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, can we hear that, dude? That's great.
Where's my pad thai?
Okay, so let me get this story going. So I was at a bar. I had been at a bar for a while, and then I left that bar and went to another bar in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And I walk in and I'm, hanging out with a couple people, just having a good old weekend time. And I look over to my left, and lo and behold, who's at the bar with me? But none other than Mr. David Cross is there. And I was too afraid to say anything to David Cross because it was too scary. He was a very scary man.
Not at all. Not at all.
But he was there. I didn't want to approach him. I didn't want to be that dick. And
That's
it seemed like other people were approaching him, and it did not seem like he was having a good time with it.
You probably just wanted to go out and get a drink.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then at one point, I went to go to the bathroom. I came back, and he was gone. So I was like, well, that was my one opportunity to meet David Cross, and I blew it. And then later on that night, I walk out the door to leave the bar, and lo and behold, there's David Cross standing out in front of the bar holding 2 bottles of hot sauce. I don't really know why he was holding. I think I'm gonna assume that those hot sauce bottles were given to him as a gift. I'm guessing that the owners were like, "Oh my goodness, David Cross is in my bar. I'm gonna give him 2 bottles of hot sauce." That's the immediate assumption that I made.
Right.
But, I don't know what I said to him because, to be completely honest, I remember getting off the train at my stop to get home, but I actually don't remember walking in the door. I was like that level of drunk. But I said something to David Cross about hot sauce. I made this I know the one thing I remember about the conversation that I had was I was making this this movement with my pinky as if I was scooping hot sauce into my mouth, and that's the only thing. That's the only thing I remember about talking to David was making this I was like, you just got to give it a. And as I was doing I was doing this scooping motion with my finger as if I was eating the hot sauce.
So I'd imagine you don't really remember what he said in response to that either, then.
No, he seemed like he was just kind of I don't know what was going on. It was just.
He didn't want to be there, maybe.
I don't know if he wanted to. I mean, he seemed like he was having a good old normal time, but I just think I don't know what was going on really because I was very drunk. I was very, very drunk, and I couldn't really handle the fact that he was just standing outside of a bar holding 2 bottles of hot sauce.
Yeah.
I don't know how to process this.
There's a lot to handle.
Although, the one thing I made a good funny joke, funny haha. I said, yeah, we should go over to him and tell him how much we liked, how good he was in Scary Movie 2. I thought that would be the best course of action.
That actually probably would have been a very good course of action. You might have thought that was funny.
I really liked how good you were in the movie Scary Movie 2.
I like the part where you were in a wheelchair.
I like the part where you're in
funny.
a wheelchair and then you refuse to have a blowjob from a woman and you suck your own dick.
That one was funny, and I like when you fought a ghost in a wheelchair in your wheelchair.
Yeah, I like that part. That was my favorite part of that movie.
See, I think that was, it's a 50-50. Either he'd think that was really funny, or maybe he'd be really offended.
Yeah.
So,
See,
I would say go for it.
Yeah, I would just go for it.
The thing is, I really like David Cross as an actor and a comedian, but I just don't feel like he would be the kind of person that'd be very thrilled if just a random person came up to them and started talking to them about his work, or just in general came up and started talking to him. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong here.
Yeah,
What if someone came up and started sucking his dick?
Yeah.
And what I also thought of, hey, I was going to go up to him and say, hey, David Cross, I really like Mr. Show. Too bad it got canceled.
That would have been good, too.
That was also the other one I was considering. But I didn't say either of those things because I didn't think it was right. It's funny to make funny ha-ha jokes now about it, but I wasn't going to do it then.
Yeah.
And that's
David
where
Cross, when's the new Arrested Development coming out, you asshole?
He said, "Well, it's all over online. The release date is very it's posted online. You can just look there. Don't ask me about it."
Yeah, and then you'll say, "Thanks, nice to meet you."
Nice to meet you, you son of a bitch.
You piece of shit.
Piece of shit. I hate your movies.
Goodbye, David Cross. I hate your movies and I hate everything.
Thank you. Thank you. You're my favorite, though.
Thank
You're
you.
my favorite. You're my favorite asshole.
You're
Hey,
my
David
favorite
Cross, I
boy.
really like when you turned your color blue.
That was
When you-
funny in that show that I watched.
But yeah, that was an interesting experience. That was I've seen celebrities in New York since I started living here. But that was the first time I actually saw someone that like I legitimately like, like I actually like, like their work and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a comment here. He was actually very good in Alvin and the Chipmunks: The Squeakquel.
Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot he was.
That was a good movie.
Oh boy.
That was a really good film.
Who did I see? I saw Jake Gyllenhaal. That's like not that big. I was like, all right, well it's Jake Gyllenhaal. Okay, fair enough.
Mhm.
Listen up, Donnie Darko.
Then you almost saw Daniel Radcliffe, right?
I did almost. I came very close to seeing Harry Pottsville.
Yeah.
He lives in. He
Pottsville,
actually
PA.
lives. He lives in Pottsville, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was
Yeah, I
like,
think he
It's
does.
where Yingling is.
He hates England, though.
yeah, he does. He fucking hates Yingling. I told that story though on a previous. I think that was the last time I told one of these like drunken New York celebrity spotting stories.
Right.
Because those happen more often than not. More often than you would think.
Right.
Which is kind of strange. Yeah.
New York. Did you ever see Alicia Keys?
Yeah, I did see Alicia Keys once.
Did she sing that song about lighting fires?
She said, "That girl's on fire." And I said, "Oh my god, that girl really is on fire."
That girl is a spider. That girl is a spider.
So here, you know what? Let's jump to a new topic here. What do you guys think of Psy's new video?
I didn't watch it,
Yeah.
so I think a lot about it.
I think it's alright.
What is this one?
It was pretty funny. I thought it was pretty funny. It was okay. It was pretty funny.
Gangnam Nums.
I like the idea of Psy as an artist is good. I'm happy that he is popular because I like the idea of turning on my local radio station, which only plays top 40 hits, and hearing someone singing in Korean on it. That's exciting for me.
That's an odd phenomena about him. Is that his songs are primarily in Korean, which is and they are top of the charts here. That's just not very common. I feel.
No, it's not
No,
very common.
not normally.
Yeah, but it's good for him. I think what is really sort of added to him now is his striking resemblance to King Jong Un, and the fact that one of them is from South Korea, that would be Psy, and then Kim Jong Un is from North Korea. So that's just a little funny, yeah, that's pretty funny, huh? Right, guys?
Do you think we're running into a Booker DeWitt Comstock story where
Or do you
Psy
think
has
it's,
to take over North Korea and kill him?
Sean, you can't say that.
or do you think it's gonna be
Sure, Brian.
Like-
That's just the basic premise of the game. I'm not ruining anything.
like Biggie and Tupac type of thing we got?
It is kind of like Bookie Toon Palm.
It's a lot like Bookie and Two Palm Pock.
Two Palm.
Man, when one of Two Palm's signature hits was when he showed everybody his two palms in
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the video, and then behind him were two palm trees.
Yeah.
It was
It's
extremely
very clever use of imagery.
very autistic. Or
It's very
artistic.
Of
It's very autistic choice. Speaking of Bioshock, I don't want to give anything away. I just think there's a story recently written on Kotaku about the Bioshock game being the best multiplayer game the person's played recently. And the argument they were making was that it's one of those games that's literally you absolutely loved it or you just hated it. So there's a lot of arguments about it online, and this person just enjoys reading all the arguments.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's multiplayer, not in the traditional sense, but multiplayer in the sense that it does. It certainly sparks. Regardless, if you meet someone that's played it, you're going to have a discussion on it.
Yeah.
Everyone that I've run into so far, just at work and just in passing, that's played it, we've had like a pretty in-depth conversation about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess in that sense it's multiplayer, but I guess so.
It's not really
I'd say
multiplayer,
I'd
but
say that's still a bit of a stretch.
that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it was supposed to have a multiplayer feature, but it was cut pretty early on.
Yeah, I'm glad they did that. It probably wouldn't have been good.
Yeah, I heard the to be honest, I think I played one round of the BioShock 2 multiplayer, and that was about it.
Oh, that's right. Did you ever even finish that game?
No, I didn't finish it. Although a lot of people said that it didn't get as much credit as it should, but the only thing is like, I guess I could go back and play it. But the fact that I started a BioShock game and didn't finish it is kind of telling.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with me now, I don't think I'd ever go back and play it, just based on... I'm not going to give away the ending of Infinite, obviously, that would be awful, but based on that, it almost makes the BioShock 2 canon not make any sense.
Yeah.
And that's what's funny. The Ken Levine, when he talks about the BioShock games, he never mentions BioShock 2.
Yeah, because he wasn't involved really.
He wasn't involved. He doesn't think of it as part of the canon.
No, I don't think he does at all.
I think, which is sad because I've heard a lot of people have said it's good, but it just doesn't.
It's fun. I had a lot of fun playing it, but I just I don't know. I don't know. Uh-oh.
Just kind of scares my shit out, you know.
I don't know what happened, but Justin is no longer here.
He disappeared for some reason.
So
We
I'm
lost
hoping
him.
that he's okay. This is completely honest. I really hope he's alright. I hope he didn't get too drunk.
Yeah,
I think he
that's
might
true.
have. I think he might have been too drunk. I think he's playing a dangerous game.
Yeah, there was a lot of alcohol to drink.
Drink too much.
They want to watch Ben Harper's on. There's like
The hell is going on here?
Can everyone hear that? It's my father yelling up the stairs, telling us to watch Ben Harper. He's on something. I don't.
There you go.
That's why I stopped talking. Is that I wanted to hear what was
You
going
wanted to
on.
hear what was going on, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So if you guys want to watch Ben Harper, he's on TV channel.
I encourage our viewers to,
Who's Ben Harper? I don't even know who Ben Harper is.
He's a musician.
Oh.
He played with who did he play with? Like Jack Johnson and stuff.
Is he
played with Jack
anything like
Johnson.
Josh Groban?
He's a little bit like Josh Groban.
Is he?
No, I don't think he's.
Then I'm not
anything like
interested.
Josh. I only listen to Josh Groban and people that sound like Josh Groban.
Have you ever know that you're my hero? Alright, thank you everyone.
Speaking of,
Josh Bobin. Oh, that's good. Thank you, Caesar Rivera. That was in the chat. The chat. I said the chat. That's in the chat. Josh Bobin. As in
Josh
Bobin.
Bobin. Speaking of artists and musicians, can we talk about Anne Frank for a second?
Give me 1 second. I will be back. You guys keep talking about Anne Frank, and I'm right back in. Give me 1 second.
all right. Well,
Mhm.
Justin Bieber recently was playing. You know, he's on an international kind of tour type of thing. He was in Amsterdam, and if you've ever been in Amsterdam, you might know that the Anne Frank house is right there in Amsterdam. You can just walk down one of the main streets and find it. He visited this, was apparently very moved, and he wrote a little something in the guest book. Let me just get the exact.
Yeah, we should have the exact thing for this. It's pretty.
Let's see here. Yes. Wait. I want to get the full one. This is a summation. Let's see here. Truly inspiring to come here. Anne was a great girl. Hopefully she would have been a believer.
Belieber.
Hopefully she would have been believer.
Hey guys, I'm back. Are we still talking about Anne Frank?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I just read the quote.
Oh,
The Justin
gosh.
Vibes quote.
Which is actually like, you know,
Believer.
there was that really funny Onion story on this, but this actually is legitimate. Like that, he wrote that.
Oh yeah,
He wrote that.
that's the thing.
It's incredible that that's real, but it is. He,
How old is Justin Bieber now?
I don't know.
I've never thought this in my entire life. He's about 30, yeah.
Yeah, he's about like 30, 35 maybe, give or take a few years. Only a few years though.
Yeah.
No, it's
Holy
incredible.
shit, he's only 19. No wonder he's fucking retarded. All right.
It's incredible with stuff like that though, because the Onion post about it, even though it wasn't real, is a perfect interpretation of it in a way. The Onion post about it was saying that a member of the Justin Bieber fan club was up in arms about Justin Bieber going crazy over this Anne Frank girl. And in a way, I mean, that's what the quote is doing. It's kind of this, you know, he's sincere at first, and then he's like, yeah, but I hope she would have liked my music.
Yep.
Yeah. I think she definitely would have.
It's also
Definitely would have.
It's also very self-referential, which is
Oh, yeah.
kind of like, man.
I think, you know, when I think about, whenever I think about anyone that's died from extreme measures like the Holocaust, I always wonder if they would have liked my art.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I see them, and the first thing I think, I'm empathetic towards them, and I think, wow, man, she must have went through a lot. But then instantly, I get that thought out of my mind because that makes me sad. I instantly get that thought out of my mind, and I say, oh man, I wonder if she would have liked my music. I know she would have been. She would have liked it. Everybody likes my music.
Right. Including historical victims.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he's just trying to branch out to a new audience.
The Anne Frank
Like,
audience, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say Holocaust survivors.
Oh, well, they're not too many.
Yeah, but the few that are left, maybe let's see this story and be like, wow, I gotta listen to this Justin Bieber guy. That's probably the response that they're gonna have, right?
Seems like a stand-up gentleman.
Seems like a real stand-up dude.
You know, to be honest, actually, when you said that thing about him being 19, he's only 19. That actually, you know, for a second there, I had this moment of sort of feel a little bad for Mr. Bieber, because for being in the spotlight that early and people knowing everything that you're doing, like, I'm not proud of everything I did when I was like, you know, like
19.
how young was he when he first came into, like, I mean, sure, like, he's probably not the best person in the world. I'm pretty sure of that, but like, to be under that much, like, under the spotlight that much. Like, I did plenty of things that I, like, I mean, remember, Noon, when you were saying you were reading your live journal or whatever that was?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's sort of the same thing. It's like, you know, like, you're not, like, I don't know.
It's true, and I mean, that's the thing, too. There's a few aspects. There's the idea that when we were younger, we didn't really have access on a big scale to things like Twitter or Facebook. MySpace was a much smaller thing, and that was when we were a little bit older, too.
Yeah.
And then there's also the fact that Justin Bieber is just a young kid, and something like that probably should have been checked through PR, but he's running his own Twitter account, so of course you're going to get things.
He's fucking born in 1994.
Exactly, yeah.
Anyway. So, okay, he first became popular in 2009, so it is currently, what, 2013? So what was he, like, I can't even math, but 4 years prior, so that is, he was like 15 when he blew up.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I literally couldn't even fathom. Okay, as bad as it seems, here's what I kind of hope. Is that he takes roughly the same route that Macaulay Culkin did.
All right.
Which is, you know, Good time.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good route for a young child star to take.
It's a model.
Macaulay Culkin still does movies, right? Does he still do those Home Alone movies? He still does those, right?
Yeah, but they're a lot different.
Yeah. No, yeah, sexy all the time.
No, there's a lot of sex in them. His parents leave him home by accident, but they don't. No one knows why he still lives with his parents.
Right. He's too old for that. It's based on Macaulay Culkin's life now, so he's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they all question why he's living with his parents still. It's like an introspective nightmare, almost. That's what the movies are now.
And he's like, man, I got my student loans still, man. But he doesn't.
Well, he doesn't, because he's got a lot of money. He had enough money to pay those off.
Easily.
Maybe
Yeah.
Bieber will. Maybe Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Maybe Bieber will grow up to be kind of like best case scenario, he'll grow up to be a little bit like Aaron Carter.
True.
Man, if they went on a tour together.
Wow.
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 Baby, 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 oh baby, would I go to that show?
Oh wow, here's something I didn't think about. That's pretty good. I'll show you guys this in a few seconds once I get it saved.
Okay.
I think you're gonna like the way you look here.
Okay, so we got some. This is more Justin Bieber related things.
Maybe.
Somewhat.
Maybe.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Right now you got nothing.
No, there's nothing here now.
Anything.
Switching my my game up here. Here you go.
I can't really. Okay.
Yep.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
I like that a lot. Reminds me of the Animorphs.
That's a spoiler for BioShock too. That Shaq is in the game.
Yeah, I should have said spoiler before I did it.
That's official. That's
canon too, actually.
Yeah.
Pat,
Okay.
you just spoiled BioShock for everyone, right?
Yeah.
I am notorious for being a shit.
At the very end of BioShock, Big Daddy takes his helmet off, and it's Shaq underneath
Shaquille
it,
O'Neal all this time,
and he says, "I'm back."
I'm back.
and he goes Shazam, and flies off.
Flies off, and his body turns into a steel suit. Becomes steel. Combines all the movies that he's ever been in.
Well, it becomes
One.
more of like a steel fighting type at that point.
Yeah, that's very true. I wish Shaq did more movies.
I wish he became a steel fighting type.
Yeah. There are some pretty good games out there that are. Oh, I can't even remember. No, that's Charles Barkley. Never mind. Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam. Never mind. There are RPG games that are out there that are pretty good.
It's an RPG.
It's an RPG, yeah. It's called Charles Barkley, Shut Up and Jam, I believe. And then there's another one. There's a sequel that just came out. That's actually a prequel. That's Charles Barkley Gaiden. It's like freeware RPGs.
I don't understand how that can happen.
I don't either. Someone did it.
It's pretty good. I guess it's pretty good.
Shut up and jam, and welcome to the jam. So we talked about Anne Frank. We could always talk about Anne Frank more.
What else? I could talk about the GoPro or the Jash stuff, but I haven't watched any of it.
I watched it. It's good.
There's a new one out today.
Oh, there's a new Daft Punk album coming out.
Oh, that's gonna be great. I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. They're gonna use live musicians.
Mm-hmm.
They're working with a lot of studio dudes.
Yeah, they're releasing it in a really neat way too. The promotion that they're doing for it is all they have.
It's all like guerrilla campaigning almost.
Yeah, exactly. And the only real stuff is all the contributors are getting a specific thing. Yeah, the collaborators, which Cedar just mentioned in the chat, is from the Creators Project, is doing this series of all the collaborators are talking about Daft Punk, and the most recent episode with Pharrell Williams. He doesn't refer to them as their actual names. He refers to them as little robots the whole entire time, which I thought was awesome.
But did you hear about they played the album at like random ass fucking places?
Mm-hmm.
Like there was just a festival where like during the festival it just played.
Well, that hasn't there's one festival that is there's some random festival in Australia.
Yeah.
That they're going to do a premiere party at. And it's random in the sense that it's in a town in Australia that only has a population of like 2,000 people. But they're using it because they're going to live stream it over the internet because there's satellites all over the place, supposedly. So it's interesting. It's really interesting. I mean, you expect that kind of stuff with Daft Punk. The only unfortunate thing is they're not going on tour specifically for this album.
Right.
They're going to do a tour that's going to be all of their stuff up until this point. So it's going to take a while for them to go back on tour again.
I heard they got new helmets. What about the new helmets?
Can we talk about the new helmets? Their music's the same, but they have more helmets.
Well, okay, the music's not exactly the same, right? They took every song and they increased the BPM by 5 beats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit faster. Yeah,
Just a
I can't
little
tell.
bit faster. No.
I don't know if you can actually tell.
They can tell. They know. And they call this the Master Series. And they're just going to go on TV and have interviews with people. And while the interviews are going on, they have boombox setups that they just press a button while they're have questions asked to them. And it just starts playing random songs from their back catalog.
I like when they press that one button, it goes, "Invaders must die."
Yeah, I like that one. I like the one where it's like, "Here we are now going to the south side." That's a good Daft Punk song too.
I know they're gonna keep increasing the BPM every year.
That's the draw. So you want to go and get the new CD each year because it's going to be a little bit different.
So get ready for that.
Get ready for that.
I'll be honest, guys. I'm just psyched for the new helmet.
Yeah. I can't wait to get the pre-order. I can't wait to pre-order the game that's coming out. They're releasing a game. It's called Daft Punk 2.2. And it's just a game where all it is you put this helmet on. And then there's a screen inside, but there's no battery, so it doesn't turn on. You just have a helmet with a screen.
I'm just excited because I don't know if everyone knows this, but Daft Punk they're huge Halo fans, and they just changed both their helmets to Master Chief helmets. Now all they do is they play the Halo Combat Evolved soundtrack.
Yeah. And they get Breaking Benjamin on stage with them.
Yeah,
and
they
play
get
with
Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah, which that's a good move.
I think it's smart advertising for them.
Can I admit to something? And like you guys, I know you guys are gonna clown me for this, right?
Did you say clown you for
You
this?
guys are gonna totally
Yeah.
clown me.
All right.
Yeah, I understand.
No, I understand what you're
I
saying. I just don't know if I've ever heard anyone say clown me before.
I just that term. What was that? I know you're totally gonna clown me for this later.
But I'm kind of drunk and fuck it.
But fuck it. That scene in Halo 2 where you come into that room, it's the last level, and that Breaking Benjamin comes in. I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
Now, which was that? Was that the battle with Tartarus? Was that the?
It was before that. It was in the last level, but it was this. You went into this room, and there's like hunters in there, and it was a pretty high scale battle, and it was really towards the end of the game, and you like, yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those things. I think they give you some pretty good guns right before it. Like you probably have a rocket launcher, cause like, or something. But I remember like killing things and like breaking Benjamin coming on. I was like, yeah, this is awesome. I mean, granted, Halo 2, when was that? I mean,
That's a long time ago.
it was a long time ago. Like, come on. I'm sorry, everyone, but I had a good time.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with those Halo songs, though. It wasn't just breaking Benjamin. I mean, there's a lot of the times there's orchestras involved with it as well. I mean, they're big, like, sweeping numbers, so it's a lot more understandable. A lot of that Halo music from Halo 2 was awesome, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then it was all good except for the fucking breaking Benjamin shit. Looking back at it now,
Yeah, I haven't listened to any of that music in a long time.
God. When did that game come out?
I don't know. Early 2000s, maybe? Like 2003?
Like, oh, it came out a really long time ago, and it's really weird to think about.
You know, it's funny. I even played Halo 3 recently, and the controls are completely different, and it's so weird.
Yeah.
Halo 2 came out in 2004.
Oh my God.
Space Oddity.
Space Oddity. We're about out of time here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Shit, fuck, yeah.
I just want to say this to all my Twitter fans out there. Yo, bro, I just headshotted your tweet. It's a quote from Robert Downey Jr.
Truth. What?
So, also, it was inspired by George Robert Redford Martin. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Fuck this.